This is Cape Breton Accents,
I've been here for like 5 years. It just feels like home away from home.
a podcast hosted by CBU President David Dingwall that celebrates the stories and perspectives that make our community so vibrant and unique.
Yeah, because it's important that students take part in extracurricular activities.
From campus life to global impact, we're excited to share the stories that define Cape Breton University.
CBU is family, and you're going to love every minute of it.
Good morning. Welcome to Cape Breton Accents. My name is David Dingwall, President and Vice Chancellor of Cape Breton University. And with me today is a very special guest, Alex Orychock. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about what motivated you to pursue a degree in social work.
That's a loaded question, let me tell you. My goal to becoming a social worker started when I was very young, and it was through, it's a bit of a sad story, but it was through a lot of hardship through my teenage years. I dealt with a lot of mental health and loss, and so the helping field for me was always the end goal. It was always something that I was interested in. It's something that I got to sit down with my mother when I was a teenager and really talk about, where did I want to go in life? And so pursuing a career in the helping field, social work felt like the one that I could do the most with. I love working with people, and it seemed like a very flexible career. There was a lot of opportunity, and there was a huge need for it in Cape Breton. So those are my main motivations.
So you had this from a young age?
I did have from a young age, that's right.
And you wanted to help people?
That was always the goal. I always loved working with people. My dad was a trades guy. My mom was in retail management. And so I had opportunities those ways. But when we really sat down and talked about my interests, it was always to help people and work with people.
Well, as you know, social work is a very, very important profession, not only here, but indeed across the country, in terms of providing advice, counsel to people, giving them an opportunity to express themselves in whatever light that they may have. So congratulations for making that decision. Where did you do your undergraduate degree?
So I did it. My undergraduate was a bachelor's degree here at CBU, and that provided me the opportunity to sort of explore social work programs which require an undergraduate to get into.
Can you describe to us some of the coursework you would have taken in social work that has now been helpful for you?
So in social work, the sort of themes in social work are always working with diverse populations, working with various demographics, people who of varying privileges, but working with people in general, and the complexity that comes with working with people through diversity, through oppression, through decolonization, mental health and wellness. So a lot of sociology, a lot of community and communications. A lot of the social work programs that are offered around the country and here at CBU offer practicums, which I think are the most valuable. That's when you get to do your hands-on, go out into the field, work with other social workers that are practicing now, and really build your skills. And so there's so many ways that you can go with it. There's so many spots where social workers are utilized and are needed desperately, especially in Cape Breton. And CBU provided an opportunity to explore so many different avenues of social work, which was an amazing experience.
That's good. That's very good. In terms of the coursework, and there are a lot of practicum involved there, did you have to serve in so many different jobs as you went through the School of Social Work?
So the way the practicum was laid out was we had two separate practicums. One was the very first one was a part-time, and that was in our second semester, and then a full-time, which was in our final semester. The first one was 250 hours, which equaled out to 3 days a week for like an 8-hour, if you were working an 8-hour job. That would vary depending on where you go. Sometimes you do shift work as well. And then the second one was a full-time 5 days a week. and you would be in one spot. So you would find an organization or a social worker that you wanted to get linked up with and do your practicum with them. So you would stay in one spot and you would have 2 opportunities to do this. So you're part-time, and then second, you're full-time.
Very good. Do you enjoy them?
I absolutely love them. I have nothing but good things to say. There are so many incredible social workers around Cape Breton right now that are practicing. The program provided an opportunity for students across Nova Scotia. There are people that went back to the mainland, back home, and did their practicums there. But for me, I did my first one with Tanya Sifnakis at Mental Health and Addictions at the hospital, which was focused in the recovery support unit. That was incredible. And then the second one I did my full-time with Susan Hanrahan at Schools Plus, she was located in the Sydney River-based schools. Nothing but amazing things to say. They taught me so much about the job, and I got really lucky that I got 2 social workers that I really wanted to model my own practice after.
Very good.
Yeah.
So tell me, in your program, did you come across this particular skill, the skill of listening?
Listening is incredibly important when you're working with other people. Listening and hearing, and those are so incredibly important because people want to be heard, and you need to hear people to make impactful change. You need to really listen and hear what they're saying and what their needs are to be able to address them. That was something that's incredibly important to social work.
Good. So if you were speaking to a grade 12 student in Cape Breton, or from anywhere really, what would you tell them about CBU? Would you recommend that they go to CBU, or would you tell them to go off island?
I would 100% recommend that they go to CBU. Now, I'll elaborate a little bit. So I'm born and raised here, Cape Breton in Whitney Pier, and I have a very deep love for this island and for my own community. My parents brought me up with a real appreciation for the history that my family has on this island. And when I was looking through different programs and different ways to pursue the career that I wanted, staying home and being able to be what often social workers are referred to as change makers. And so staying home, being able to stay on island and make effective change, positive change in my community, CBU allowed me to do that. It was through my bachelor's degree that I knew I wanted to work with people, with social work being the end goal. And when the social work program opened up, it was a godsend for me. I didn't have to, oftentimes you would have to go off island to pursue a career in social work. I think the closest being in Halifax. It's not something I wanted to do. I wanted to stay home. I'm a homebody. My whole family's here. So the fact that I was able to do that, I count my lucky stars. I really do. And it was an incredible program that we got to be a part of. I was part of the inaugural social work program, the inaugural cohort, and nothing but positive things to say. And the fact that I got to stay home, I got to do it at home, and I get
Very
to
good.
pursue my career afterwards at home, that's the most important part for me.
Just to let you in on a little secret that the university is working pretty diligently in trying to put in place a Master's of Social Work.
I love that. I love that idea.
So maybe you might be back again at some point.
Yeah, I would say there's a strong possibility that I will be back. I would endorse that heavily. I think that that's an amazing program idea for the island, providing even more opportunity for this island and to make real, positive, effective change in allowing people to bring people here and to keep them here.
Look, I want to thank you for joining us today. Your career is interesting, to say the least. So continued success in your profession. And we want to thank you for joining us today and joining our viewers on this Cape Breton Accents. Thank you so much.